Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Tuesday, September 26th. We're going to take a look at CGC today. So Canopy had a little bit of a down day today, relatively flat. Still putting in some nice motion here. We'll see if that can continue to climb or not. But I'd say still sort of respecting the potential for an uptrend here. I'm not going to put it in yet because I don't trust it with just, say, 3 candles. It is nice to see a red day that sort of holds the trend line, though. So gives me a little bit of confidence, but I'll wait till at least the end of the week before I feel super confident putting in a trend line there, but we can approach that when we get there. Now we'll zoom in a minute, but just to sort of see where we are, we do have this big gap. There's not an actual gap there, but we have a price gap from this like 103 level to this 120 level. There's a tiny gap here, interestingly, but let me see if there's an obvious level. Maybe this. Okay, if anything. Okay, I'll put this in. I don't know how strong or how consistent this level is going to be, but I'll put one in here at 114 just so that we have one in between that space. These are still pretty big percentage changes. So if it's moving, it might sort of showcase some additional ones. There might be one there right around 806, 807. 806. 106. I saw that 106.8. 106, 107. So, we can sort of approach that if it puts in some extra work in those levels. You see 107 right there, interestingly enough. So 107 topped out today, but basically it just couldn't hold this 103, right? It's just sort of chopping in and out. It's pretty big candles on either side of the price point, and confirmed resistance here, and then came down clear as a bell to the next level. Immediately started treating it as resistance, and same thing with the next one. Comes down and just immediately flips it to resistance, and then came down within a couple of pennies of that 85.95 that we have, and then retraced back up to this 91.40. So it just sort of followed that into close. So we'll see if it's able to get any gusto going. Obviously the overall market was struggling a bit today, so on the redder side of things, and with the push that this has had recently, it has retraced quite a bit, but it certainly could have had a much bigger down reaction when the overall market is having a red day, as we've previously felt in the past. Think of all of, what was that, 2021, whatever. So that's sort of what I'm looking for at the moment. What is it going to do? Is it going to continue to pin itself here into open tomorrow? And if so, can we get another attempt at 96? Is it going to slip it and try to put in a lower low than this 87.30 that we saw today? Will that act as some potential additional support where it doesn't quite need to stretch down to this 85, 86 level? That's going to be my main focus if I'm looking at this one tomorrow. Now on the hour chart here in the Thinkorswim, it's come down today and sort of slipped the mid-range kind of immediately, sort of like we just saw with our other levels. Slipped the mid-range, but it didn't need to come down and test the lower bound of the channel, which is interesting because, in recent days, we see confirmed support over the mid-range, nice attempt, push through the upper bound of the channel, comes back down, retest the mid-range, push up to and attempt through the upper bound of the channel again. Now today it comes down, slips it, and it doesn't need, or at least thus far, hasn't needed to come down and test the lower bound of the channel. So maybe there's some additional sort of strength that it's holding there. I don't know if so or how long it could last, but nudging back toward the mid-range of the channel again into close. There's this 180 to 200 EMA cloud as well that could offer some additional support or resistance depending on which way it wants to go. You see it's sort of wrestling with it right now. It came in, swooped in here, and then it rejected off of it here, and it attempted to hold it again and shrugged off it again. So could it be third time is a charm? Could it be that the bulls are going to get sort of spent trying to breach that level? You know, the coming days will tell us more. Also, for much of the day, you know, we have 6 candles here of triggering on the TTM squeeze indicator. Last time that happened, we had a 3 trigger and a fire here, and we had a nice climb. That fire was around 82 cents, and that push took it up over 102. So it was a really nice percentage gain, obviously, if you caught that move. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Nope, I thwarted it. All right. So that's, you know, my main focus on the Thinkorswim. Anything coming from this triggering on the TTM squeeze, what's going on with this 180 to 200 EMA cloud, and what's going to happen here is it continue to hold this sort of relative strength where, like I said, a couple of recent times when it pushed off of the mid-range, it tested the bound, right? Tested the bound again, but this didn't need to come down to the lower bound. And if that continues to persist, it may give me some additional confidence that there's more juice to be squeezed out of this sort of bullish run that we saw recently, again, although it has retraced back a bit in recent days. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.